All right, welcome into another edition of the 2023 MLB Draft Show. I'm excited. I'm really excited, man. We got outfielder Walker Jenkins on the program today, the pride of Oak Island, North Carolina, and South Brunswick High School. Walker, how we doing, man? Welcome to the show. Excited to have you on.
I appreciate you for having me. Doing great. It's getting a little chilly down here, down by the beach, but hanging in there. So
Well, let's dive in. I want to know a little bit more about Walker Jenkins because we've seen what you're capable of on the baseball field, but why don't you tell the viewers, tell the listeners, who's Walker Jenkins? I mean, what do you like to do on your spare time? How do you like to spend your weekends? And then, if you could, a little bit of an idea what kind of a player you are on the field.
yes, sir. To start it off, baseball's kind of my love and my passion. Even on the weekends and stuff, that's kind of like what I enjoy doing. I like going to hit, working out, running, kind of just enjoy the grind. So that takes up a lot of my time, but it's not because it feels like a chore, but it's something I enjoy. So, me and my buddies have a lot of guys that on my high school team that also enjoy baseball. And we'll just go out to the field and be out there for hours. But, obviously besides things like that, I enjoy going out in the water, fishing. It's about time where the deer start to come out. So I enjoy doing a little bit of hunting and things like that. And just hanging out with friends, I live on a Oak Island, like you said, and it's kind of secluded just in this little corner of North Carolina. So there's not much to do around here if you're not doing sports or fishing or something. So we kind of just all hang out and have a good time. So I enjoy doing things like that. And then on the field, I feel like I'm a passionate, energetic ball player. I like to try to always bring the energy to the game, bring energy to my team, and allow myself and my team to be as successful as we can be so we can go out and compete and win.
I love it. You've always been kind of labeled as this just gritty ball player. I mean, you're always on the field, focusing on the field. Has it always been that way? Have you always just been a ball player at heart, or was there an age where you just said, this is kind of part of my identity? Like I am a gamer.
I think I've always been a huge competitor, sir. No matter what it is in life, I always like to go out and win, and I want to be the best at whatever I do. I fell in love with baseball at a very young age. And, that passion and love for the game has just continued to carry on and only increases as I've gotten older. But, I kind of do think it was born with me in a way. I just remember even from a young age, baseball is my favorite sport. That's what I wanted to play when I got older. Now, my drive and wanting to be the best increased as I got older from certain things, not making certain all-star teams or getting cut, things like that. It drove me. I'm like, I don't want this to happen again. And, I want to be the best. So
Yeah.
I think that increased my passion and want to be the best of the game, sir.
How did that click when you're coming up and you're growing up? And was there a ball player that you watched or looked at and kind of said, this guy kind of personifies why I want to be great. He is the player that I want to be.
I grew up watching Derek Jeter and Bryce Harper, and they were two of my bigger idols growing up. But I say one of the best things for me was growing up in a baseball area. We live in this little part of North Carolina, but I've been surrounded by great ball players my whole life. I had 6 guys that went to a mid-major D1 school that came out of our high school. They were all a year, 2 or 3 years older than me, and those were all the guys I was competing with growing up. Going back to that competition and wanting to be the best. I'm younger, I'm smaller, I'm not as big. I want to be better than these older guys, so I think it made me work harder. Talking about who was my inspiration and who I looked up to, obviously those major league guys, then I'm looking at these older guys and seeing what they're doing and how they're getting to where they are. And I'm like, not only do I want to get there, but I want to surpass them. So that was something that was, I think, really good for me when I was growing up.
You had a big summer. It was it was a weird summer though. You were beat up. You had some nagging injuries here and there, but when you got on the field, I mean, it was always explosive. I want to know two questions here. How do you think your summer went in terms of just production and performance in front of scouts, in front of fans, for yourself? And then the other side of it is with those little injuries. Now, we don't need to bring them up, but with those little injuries, how were you able to compartmentalize and process being off the field and having to stay away from the field during those times?
Yes, sir. So, first of all, going to how I felt like the summer was and how I felt like I did, I felt like it was a a pretty average summer. I feel like when I was healthy, I performed pretty well. I think I could have
Mhm.
performed better. There are some little swing tweaks I had to make to allow me to get back on plane and get back to where I was. But once I figured that out this fall, I felt very comfortable and did extremely well. But an average summer, I feel like I could have done better. But I feel like that's what I did this summer. It was the minimum of what I expected out of myself. I hold myself accountable and have high expectations. But when I'm healthy, I expect a lot out of myself and want to do the as good as I can. So I think it was a good summer and I helped myself, but I always think I can do better. Um, and then what was the second question, sir?
Just being forced off the field at times. How do you process that?
Yeah. It's tough. I told you baseball's my life pretty much. It's not something that I said I do because I feel like it's a chore and I need to do it to be the best, but I genuinely enjoy it and I love the game and I love the work and I love the grind. So it's tough. It's mentally and physically a challenge, but it's one of those things I look at it in different ways. When I hurt my hand, I was doing a lot of one-handed drills, got really good at that the top hand one-handed bat drills, and then I was running some and getting my cardiovascular system right and working on sprinting and doing things like that. So I look at it in different ways and work on different things at certain times that I know are still helping me get better. So you have to understand sometimes little things that are gonna happen, but when you come back, you're gonna be better and stronger. So I always try to do something to better myself when something like that happens.
Let's talk a little bit about getting a little bit better every day, right?
Yeah,
Swimming. You take up swimming.
I do.
That's new. Tell me a little bit about swimming. How do you think that contributes to who you are on the ball field, and what do you get out of it?
Someone had suggested swimming to me. Baseball, you're playing a lot of games in a season. You have a lot going on in the summer circuit. Your body can get fatigued. And I always enjoyed things like basketball, football, and soccer. But the fall sports, football and soccer, I couldn't really play because I was gone for the first month of school a lot of times, missing workouts and was unable to do that. Then I played basketball one year and enjoyed that. But with basketball comes a lot of tweaks and stuff. There's a high risk of like jamming a finger and being unable to swing the bat or doing something. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try swimming. I did it freshman year, and my body felt extremely good after, and I felt healthy and the best and extremely in shape. It's like, you know what, I'm going to do it again. So this year, I've come back to it, and when you first start again, it's a process. The endurance and stuff is not there. It's just like running. Like it takes you a little while to get your feet back under you. So, I'm getting back used to things, but it's been very enjoyable, and it's kind of something that me and my buddies can just go around and have fun with, but also compete at. So, it's been a lot of fun, and I think it's only going to allow me to better myself when the baseball season comes around.
I want to ask how you like to better yourself in terms of training, specifically with baseball. We kind of like to dive into the data and the tech side of things at Prospects Live, and so I'm wondering, do you incorporate tech? Do you incorporate exit velo? Do you incorporate bat speed? Like, is this something that you like to train with, or are you strictly right now a feel guy?
No, I'm a little bit of both, sir. I can definitely say, like, when it could just comes to hitting, me and my dad just have a cage here on the island that I like to get most of my work in. We're at the high school, and I like to take video and watch a lot of my video and compared to other videos, whether it's another player or even my older swing. And I like to analyze and see what's like working for me here compared to what's not working. And things like that have really helped me over the years. I'm like, okay, today or this game or this swing, I had a great result, a great swing, and I like seeing what I did here. So I'll take a video of it. Or when I'm feeling really good, I'll take a video of it and see what I'm doing good and what I'm doing right. And then say I'm having a bad day. I'm like, man, I'm just not feeling it today. Wondering if it's the swing, see what's going on. I'll take a video of today, and I like to compare the two. Okay, my hands are a little different. I'm dropping them a little bit. I'm not as direct to the ball. Do different things like that. When it comes to like the hit tracks and stuff, I may hit on that 2 or 3 times a month. The down here by the beach, we don't really have any hitting facilities like right here by us. So it's 45 minutes to an hour away to where I could get somewhere like that. So every now and then I'll go up there when I'm feeling good and kind of seeing what I can do exit velo wise. But I like to look into stuff like that a lot of times when I'm testing something out. People will make suggestions to me, whether it's the swing or throwing or whatever it is. Like, okay, I'll try it, see how it feels, see my comfort level. They'll be like, all right, you'll be able to hit the ball 5 miles per hour harder if you do this. Okay, like I'll try it. If it works, I'd love to try it. I want to hit the ball harder. Then I'll go up there and be like, okay, I'm gonna test my normal swing compared to this swing and see what works better for me. Because one of the biggest things I've learned as a baseball player is everyone swings different. Like you're just not. Some things are going to work for some people and some aren't. You have the basics, which I think everyone should have. But like I'm not like a Ronald Acuna guy. I don't like having that full arm extension. I like to get some separation, but not the full arm. That's one thing someone suggested for me. I feel like I lose a little bit of bat control, so I didn't like that as much. But I'll definitely incorporate it when I need it. And then in the weight room, I work out with a guy named Hudson Rose up in Wilmington. He's a great guy. Love working out there. Has a lot of big league guys, Ryan Jeffers, MacKenzie Gore. And, he uses like velocity-based training. Are you familiar with that, sir?
I am. Yeah.
So, I hadn't really heard of it until about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do that every week, upper body and lower body, to help see how fast you're moving weight and that type of thing. So I really enjoy using that stuff when it comes to the weight room.
I dig it. Yeah, you really seem to have a really solid fundamental feel for your body, the way it moves, and how you want to develop. I dig that.
Yes, sir.
So let's just dive right in. I mean, we like to end this show with some questions that are a little bit outside of the baseball field. I can already see you've probably seen the show here and there. I want to ask, let's just start with this side of things. So you have obviously played, you've done the Team USA thing, you've done all the tournaments, you've done all the showcases. Is there a guy on the showcase circuit that's in your class that you just think has the worst sense of style?
I don't know. Let's see. I got my boy Blake Mitchell.
Blake, huh?
He doesn't have bad style, but I'm one of those people like flip flops and like slides like bother me. Like they don't bother me. I just don't like wearing them. I used to always walk around with slides and like no socks. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Just in the room. But it wasn't around people, so like it was fine. But I used to just pick on him about that.
I dig that. So the other question would be, if you had a chance to tee off right now against one big league pitcher and you think you could find success, who you got?
That I would feel like comfortable and successful off of?
Yeah, and I'll give you MacKenzie Gore.
MacKenzie Gore, he'd be a tough one. He
lefty crime.
Yeah, he hides the ball well. I'd like to hit off of someone like, I don't know, like Trevor Bauer. I feel like I could do well off of him for some reason. Maybe that's just because I've seen a lot of videos on him, but who knows?
Yeah. All right, last question. This is how we always end the show. What is the one random fact that you know about anything that not a lot of people know?
So my dad's a forester, right?
Okay.
And yeah, so do you know if you cut down a tree, it has rings on the inside of it?
I do, but I don't think I have a full understanding of what that means.
So if you count the rings, that's how many years old the tree is.
See, that's something that I should probably know, being up here in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, all we have is evergreens. So it's interesting. So every ring is an age. Interesting. So that means
is how
so
much
trees have to naturally get thicker every year.
Yeah. Yep.
Walker Jenkins. That's a good fact. And
you
had it ready. You had it ready.
I'd watched it. I was thinking about it. I was like, what is he going to, like, what fact should I come up with? I was like, I don't want to start talking about something I don't know much about. So I was like, I'm just going to talk about the trees.
We've never had forestry. That's solid, man. Walker Jenkins, commit to North Carolina. If you end up at Tar Heel, it's going to be great. If you don't, I'm sure you're going to do huge things at the next level. Excited to see what your spring looks like. And stay healthy, my man. We like watching you on the field.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate it.